Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you doing? All right, I can feel it. That's the way we want to get started, isn't it? Okay. So happy Independence Day weekend to all of you. Are you feeling free?
Yep.
Are you living free?
Yep.
Yeah, that's truer than you think it is. Okay, so this is the time of the year where, we set aside this special time to celebrate our country's freedom. And the beauty, I think, of religious science is that this is something that we do every day if we're operating from a conscious space. See, this is something that we don't have to just do once a year, although, if we're going through some kind of memory lapse, this is a good time. This is a good time to wake up again and recognize that freedom is our birthright, that it is what we're made in the image and after the likeness of. It is what we already are. It is what has already been given. Now, my topic this morning is living free. Living free. And Dr. Ernest Holmes tells us on page 595 of the textbook, he says, real freedom means that we are created in the image of perfection and let alone and allowed to make the discovery for ourselves. Now, that would be a lot easier if somebody was just taking us by the hand and saying, this is, this isn't, this is, this isn't. But no, we're let alone to make that discovery for ourselves. He said, freedom of will means the ability to do, say, and think as one wishes, to express life as one personally desires. The very force that makes us sick can heal us. Boy, where have I heard that before? He's telling us there's only one thing here, and it's freedom. All right? As we realize our oneness with creative mind, he says, we're released from the bondage of false thinking. Now pay attention to that. As we realize our oneness with creative mind, we're released from the bondage of false thinking. We also see that freedom means liberty and not license. Okay. So sometimes when we hear a topic like this one this morning, living free, we make an assumption. We make the assumption, you might have even made the assumption that, oh, you know what, Reverend Dar is going to get up there this morning and tell us how to live free. And I can't tell you how wrong that is. That is just not what this is about this morning. See? In fact, what I really want to do this morning is to wake us all up, including myself, to the realization, to remind ourselves that no matter what's going on in our lives right now, no matter what it looks like right this very moment, we are living free. See, go back to that opening definition. He's saying, when you wake up to it, it's right here. When you realize that it's always been here, you realize that you've always been living free. So what we're really doing here is interpreting that definition, and that's what our lives look like right now. Our lives look like our interpretation of that definition of freedom. So how are you living? How are you living? What does yours look like? How have you interpreted those words that Ernest Holmes told us? He said the ability to go and do and be and have whatever it is that we choose to go and be and do and have is here for us right now. How are you living? How are you interpreting those very words right now? Okay? Because we want to look at our lives right now. Just take a mental snapshot of everything that's going on in your life right now. Take that mental snapshot and recognize this is my freedom. Now there could be a jolt to that, couldn't it? That could be a little bit scary, couldn't it? Here I am living in infinity with infinite freedom, and this is as much of it as I'm claiming for myself right now. And yet all of it is here. All of it is given. All of it is ours. So no matter what our individual worlds look like, no matter what the conditions are in our world right now, no matter what our health looks like right now, no matter what our financial situations look like or our relationships look like right now, we are living our current interpretation of what freedom is. It's all here. How much of it are we claiming? How much are we claiming? So what we want to remember is that the power that we're immersed in, the power that we are individualized as in this very moment has given all. Now, you know, I get the feeling, though, that you don't hear me. I really do. I get the feeling that you don't hear me. The power that we're immersed in, the power that we're individualized as, has given all. And it all belongs to us right now. All of it. So if we take that mental snapshot of our lives right now, what we have to recognize in this very moment is, wow, this is how I'm interpreting unlimited prosperity. This is how I'm interpreting perfect health and wholeness. This is how I'm interpreting unbridled joy. This is how I'm interpreting living free. And you know, I know you're saying, Dar, you said that already. I only have 1 point this morning. That's it. That's it. Because you know what? If we wake up to this one, everything changes. If you hear what I'm saying this morning, everything changes. So I may give you 5 different ways of looking at it, but that's it. Right? This very moment, we are living free. So that's my message. That's it. We're living in our own reality. And we're basing that reality on what we believe is necessary and what it is that we believe is possible. I'm laughing at Kathy because she likes that line. Okay? Okay. Our world consists right now, each and every one of us, our individualization of reality, our own individualization of life consists right now of what it is that we believe is necessary and what it is that we believe is possible. Now, there's a great Infinity commercial, the car company, Infinity. And the commercial goes like this: a line has been drawn in infinity. Have you heard that? Okay, and from that line you see this car being made manifest, which is a beautiful commercial. But the thing I think we want to recognize is that in our lives 2 lines have been drawn in infinity. 2. For each of us. Each of us has drawn 2 lines in infinity. The one of the lines is our bottom line. See? And that bottom line tells us what we believe is necessary. What we believe we have to go through and endure in order to move through this life experience. That's what that bottom line tells us. And many times, as low as that bottom line is, sometimes we even find ourselves going lower with it and lower with it and lower with it. Have you ever experienced that? But the other line that we've drawn is that upper limit. And that upper limit tells us what we believe is possible. Now, we go through this thing called life, and ultimately what we have to do in order for things to change is that we've got to raise our bottom line. But we don't want to forget to raise that upper limit, too, in terms of what's possible. Where we begin to recognize, wow, if I really am made in the image and after the likeness of this thing called freedom, well, what can hold me back? What's holding me back right now? So see, the bottom line has to come up, but that upper limit has to expand. It has to expand and expand and expand, where we begin to recognize that more and more and more and more is possible. So the bottom line is what's necessary, the upper limit that we ourselves have created in our thinking in terms of that definition. That's how we're interpreting it as to what it means to be free. Now, I want to talk about this morning, to illustrate this, I want to talk about a Bible character